So, to initiate Fuck You, It's January month of January, we're starting off with Women in Black 2, which makes me wonder, like, who saw the first one? Who, man, lock the door so I don't get robbed. Were there enough people that saw the first one? Like, did the makers of the first one see the $50 that got put in their bank from the first movie and be like, oh, well, clearly there's an audience for this, so we need to follow up and complete the story. And it's a war movie. Like, it's set in London in the 1800s. Not 1800s. The first 40 to 45 minutes is an honest-to-God war movie. The main girl is in charge of these kids whose parents, for whatever, are either gone or can't travel with them because they're stuck in the country. And her and the school teacher are in charge of these kids, and they get relocated to this super haunted house out in the middle of nowhere to hide. And so the first 40 minutes is just like them, you know, traveling and trying to comfort the kids and trying to adjust. And when they get there, the teacher is all like the teacher is the obvious, like, super hardcore bitch, and then the main character is like the super soft, so sweet that she has psychic powers because she's so empathetic type. They're such like polar opposites because we need both in the movie. But they get there to this hideout, and the teacher character is like, this will not do. This is unacceptable. It's like, you're hiding from being blown up. Like, where do you expect to be located at? Like, the Ritz? I don't know. But anyway, the whole movie, it's just... Do you remember, like, in the youth of the internet, when the internet was just becoming a new thing, YouTube hadn't been established at this point. So, funny viral videos, you had to go to specific sites to look up, right? They weren't globally put up everywhere. Do you remember the one that was like a fake car commercial? Just like a smooth, very like jazzy, just sliding out of the chair, smooth, buttery jazz music, car just driving off in the distance. And then something like a monster pops up like right here in the foreground of the camera and just screams. Remember how that freaked everybody out and it was so much fun to show that to your friends and make them jump? I think the person that made that video directed this movie because that's all it is. After that 45 minute mark, once they actually start doing quote-unquote horror, like creepy, not creepy, but I mean they actually try to be a horror movie, that's all the movie is. It's just bang on the piano really loudly and someone jumps into the frame from a direction you didn't expect them to, and then the movie carries on. To the point where it doesn't even make sense. Like, the main girl is like walking around the house and she jump scare, like the little kids like bump into her from the side, and she's like, what are you guys doing? And she's like, oh, we were playing tag. It's like, if you're playing tag indoors, you hear that. Like, if you're chasing each other around, that's a noisy game. You hear each other. Yet it was completely silent beforehand. There's another jump scare where, like, the girl is looking out the window at a grave, and then a bird just slams into the window. Birds are not a thing in this movie. It's not a theme. It's not like the ghost's motif or anything. Like how Freddy has, like, a hat everywhere, or Jason's thing, like, is water or whatever. Birds have nothing to do with Woman in Black. It's just a bird smacks into the window to scare you. It's the most, like, lazily done. Not just the scares, but the story itself is the laziest thing ever. It's just a bunch of coincidences that are loosely tied together. When the soldier character, when his lighter won't light because it's out of fuel, coincidentally, one of the little girls, I'm not even shitting you. He's like, oh, my lighter's out of oil. It cuts immediately to one of the little girls, and she goes like this. Here, I found some matches. Like, right after. Like, his line was her cue to find the matches. Coincidentally, they find the matches. Coincidentally, the soldier knew exactly where the main girl ran off to save the little boy. Coincidentally, the girl is trapped by a blind guy and tricks him with the video game logic of, I'll throw a thing in one direction and go the other. I am not even close to shitting you. And the guy doesn't even, like, maybe I just don't remember the first one all that well, but he's just a blind guy in a village somewhere that they came across early in the movie, and then he's like, you let her out, you let her out, and he's referring to the woman in black, the ghost. But he doesn't elaborate on it, he doesn't say what that means, he's just like, you let her out, and he's blind for some reason. Again, coincidentally, he's blind so that she could get away. The whole movie is drawn out like that, like they just needed to have... It's like they kept writing themselves in a corner, and then figured at the last minute, like, well, wait, how do they figure this out? Oh, she finds matches. Oh, he's blind, so she tricks him. It's the most, like, cookie cutter, like, bull crap, laziest fucking thing. And it's a shame, because, honestly, like, if I'm being perfectly honest, like, I'll give the movie its due credit. It looks awesome, the way it's shot. If there was any money put into this, it was hiring the two main girls who were actually, like, really good actresses. And actually the soldier guys, like, he has no chemistry with the girl Eve at all. And the reason that they like each other is completely... They had one conversation on a train. But, like, when you find out, like, his character, and, like, he's afraid of water and stuff like that, and why he's afraid of water, he sells it. He actually does a pretty darn good job. So there's good actors in the movie. So there's good actors, but if they had any money, it went into hiring the actors and into, like, creating the mood. There's a lot of, like, really good moody fog going on. The lighting is really well done. Again, that's the only thing that I think warrants this being in the theaters at all. Because, again, who saw the first one and, like, made the studio felt compelled to follow up with the second one? Like, anything will get a fucking sequel these days. There's a hole in that wall. There's a brick wall right there. There's a big fatty hole there. But yeah, like, honestly, I was more interested in the trailer. My brain was just on autopilot the entire time. I could not even begin to muster enough interest in any of the characters. I was legitimately more interested in the actress and the actor and the actresses that were in the movie, just being like, man, you're putting more effort into a movie that really doesn't deserve it. The trailers that I got was like obviously there was Avengers 2. You know, that's going to be everywhere. Pitch Perfect 2. I didn't see the first one, even though it has Anna Kendrick in it. Oh my god. I got The Lazarus Effect, which is a horror movie coming out in February. February is starting to look like, fuck you, it's February. It has a couple people that I recognize, but I recognized immediately Danny Glover is in it. And I was just like, oh god, we're still doing the black comic relief gets killed thing, huh? He's gonna die. You know he's gonna die in that movie. But, it looks like it's about a girl that, like, she spends, like, technically speaking, she's dead for a couple seconds, but then they manage to revive her. But, like, she comes back, and she's not the same as she was before. And she has, like, psychic powers now or something. Like, I'm pretty sure when you're half past dead, that's the term they use for when you're technically legally dead for a couple seconds, or a couple minutes. I'm pretty sure when you're half past dead, you don't unlock the ability for telekinesis, but what do I know? There was just more shit coming out in January that I wasn't aware of, and I was just like, oh god, because of the theme I'm doing this month, I'm like, I'm gonna have to see these. There was Lazarus Effect. There was one with Kevin Hart, who, like, is one of the funniest guys around, but goddamn, he is the worst fucking agent. It's like, The Wedding Ringer. Not The Wedding Singer, The Wedding Ringer. He's like a best man for hire, and that's the movie. Kevin Hart's a best man for hire. I don't know. I can't think of the other one. So yeah, and actually now I actually gotta get back, because I'm actually seeing Taken 3. That's my other movie for the day. So, final thoughts on Woman in Black 2. I hope that the three main people in this movie continue to work, and that this movie doesn't sink them, because holy fuck, this movie it very much is like a movie that I could foresee being like an anchor to somebody's career. It really sucks that bad. It's just boring, and that's one of the worst things you can do with a movie. There are plenty of bad movies that are still entertaining. Obviously, The Room is one of them. Why is this person... Oh, he's on the phone. I thought he was staring at me. I was looking in my side view mirror, and I thought somebody was just staring at me. There are plenty of bad movies that you can still find entertainment in, but a bad movie that is just bad and just boring takes a certain kind of talent, but it's not the kind of talent that we want in, like, major productions. And, before you get to the comments and be like, why did you go see the movie then? Free movie ticket, motherfuckers, so I didn't support shit. Basically, I pirated the movie, but legally. So, yeah, I'll be back in a few with Taken 3. I'll probably just put a link to it in the video so you can just zip over to it. I'll see you guys next time as Fuck You, It's January continues. Okay, I actually have another few minutes, but the other one I forgot was The Kingsman. Basically, the Uma Thurman, Ray Fiennes Avengers movie, done again, but with Samuel L. Jackson and Colin Firth. It's just like a menagerie of, like, well-trained British actors doing spy shit. And they, like, recruit some, like, punk off the street. Kind of like Men in Black, how they just recruit Will Smith off the street, even though he's kind of like a rough street kid. They're like, oh, but he's got talent, so let's hire him. And honestly, it actually doesn't look bad. It actually looks like it could be entertaining, is what it looks like it could be. It looks like it could be entertaining. I think it's based off a comic. I'm not really sure. It's being put up by the same company that did the Kick-Ass movies, so I just assume. And I'm pretty sure in there I saw... Maybe what I'm thinking of is that it's one of the producers from X-Men First Class. Maybe that's what it is. And the fact that it's got that's kind of a comic booky premise, let's face it. But that looks good. But yeah, just real quick, just want to tack that on. Okay, seriously, next time, Taken 3. Fuck You, It's January.